everyone, welcome back to my colourful country life. So I have moved my desk for this video and for future videos. I've noticed with my new phone, didn't matter how much I fiddled with the settings, the videos were still a little bit dark. So I have moved my desk to get a little bit more natural light coming in onto the videos. So hopefully it shows up well on the screen and it's lit up enough for you guys to see what I'm doing. So I get asked quite regularly to do completed pages videos for you guys, and I've never actually done one so far in my last 3 years on YouTube, and that's for a couple of reasons. So the first reason is everything I colour on this channel is a colour along. So everything I colour in my real life, I colour for this channel. So I kind of figured it wouldn't be really interesting as you guys have already seen everything. But I do get that people might like to watch completed pages videos, but not actually like to watch colour alongs, because completed pages videos is basically all I watch on YouTube. I don't watch anything else. So I do get that some people might like to watch this, but colour alongs might be boring for them. So they might not actually have seen what I've coloured. But if you are on my Instagram, you'll have seen it all because I post it all on there anyway. Now, the second is I don't actually colour that much in a month. So when I looked back at my previous months, I averaged like 4 or 5 completed pages, which just didn't seem like enough to warrant a video. And a lot of that is due to my full book colour along. So the Kirby pages can take quite a while. Like I can be working on one page for a week, if not longer. And if you've been subscribed to the channel for a while, you'll know it took me 2 years to complete Kirby's Worlds Within Worlds. That book I completed entirely with Prismacolors, including most of the backgrounds as well. So there was the odd Posca or Distress ink background, but majority of it was pencil, and they do take a long time to complete. I do have a video on my completed Worlds Within Worlds, which I'll tag. I'll link it up the top for you if anyone's interested in watching it. But now I do have some extra colouring time in my week. The only issue is I'm not able to film while I'm colouring. So I'm hoping to use that time to work on some of my untouched colouring books, maybe use a lot more of my art supplies and get a little bit more friendly with my other pencil sets. Also to work on some new techniques and things that I can share with you all on the channel, and even just use the time to do some mindless colouring and wind down while I watch a movie or something like that at night with my husband. I'm also working on adding 3 more pencil sets to the coloured pencil conversion chart. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a video on my channel which I will link up above. It's also on my website and it's all free to download, as is all of my charts. It has been a long time since I've coloured something without filming. 3 years maybe, except for the odd long-term whip that I've completed. I'd say it's been about 3 years since I've just coloured something by myself that I haven't filmed. I have noticed that I've been in front of the TV watching a movie with my husband, just colouring along, minding my own business, and I still lift up the pencil as if I'm showing someone, and my husband is like, what are you doing with those pencils? It's just habit now. So I keep rambling. Back on track. So that was the backstory to where we are today with this video. Excuse my nail, guys. I did my nails on Sunday. What day is it today? It is Wednesday. I did my nails on Sunday. So if you don't know, I live in the middle of nowhere. So it is a long place to go to find a beautician. So I learned how to do my own nails with the dip powder. I did it on Sunday, and then on Monday I was taking a break from work, thought I'll have some lunch, play with my dogs, and I was playing tug of war with my cattle dog, and he decided that the part that I was holding was better than his part. So when he grabbed onto it, he also grabbed onto my thumb. So he's taken a chunk out of my nail, and I haven't had a chance to fix it. You'll probably also notice in my colour along videos, my nails change colours halfway through the video because I film like a couple of hours each night. So I can film over a period of a week, so my nails do change colours. I'm rambling once again. Where was I? Okay, so with it being summer holidays here in Australia, I did take some time off work. My husband too. We left the farm and went to visit my family for a little while. Now my parents live down by the beach, and my brother and his family also came down, so it's just one big catch up. We do it every year. So a lot of my pictures will be summery, beachy themes this month. And I know that might be a little bit weird for anyone that is still in winter, but hopefully it helps to make you feel warm and fuzzy. I only brought some limited supplies down there with me. So I brought my Prismacolor pencils because I know them like the back of my hand. I don't need to think. I just grab out what I need. Some jelly rolls, my pen touch, Cyano White, gel pen, some small paint sets, the little CSY paint sets, and also just a couple of little books, which I think were Lulu Mayo and Rita Berman books. I think that's all I took with me, I think. Oh, off on another tangent number 121 here. I say Cyano, but apparently Mitsubishi has confirmed it's actually Signo. So I may say both throughout the video. I am trying to get used to saying it correctly, but I don't know if it's just an Aussie thing. I always thought like sign, as in you're signing with a pen, so sign and add an O in the end. Because I'm Aussie, we abbreviate everything and put an O in the end. So I just assumed that's that's what it was. But apparently it is actually Signo. I don't know if it has any meaning or anything, but in my head I'm just trying to think, instead of sign, as in signing a document, I'm thinking sig as in signature. So Signo. I will try to say it correctly, but I'll probably say both. I went off on a tangent again. What was I talking about? Okay, now before I show you the coloured pages, I actually did 11 completed pages this month, which has to be a new record for me. Like I said, I'm used to maybe 4 or 5 a month, so I don't know what next month's going to bring, because we did have the summer holidays. I was away and unable to film, so I was doing lots of little colouring. Hence why we got to 11. So maybe next month might not be quite as much. I can't imagine it being ever any more than that amount in a month. So hopefully this is still interesting, even though it isn't that many pages. Let me know down below if you want me to keep doing them, or if you're finding these boring. And I will promise not to ramble so much next video. Actually, I probably will ramble just as much, so I shouldn't make promises I can't keep, should I? Okay, so before I start, okay, so I did do a PDF this month, which I'm unable to show you guys yet. It is from a yet to be released book, and it's going to be a PDF book, not a physical book. And I haven't coloured that many PDFs in the past. I'm not a huge fan of PDFs, or I haven't been in the past. I do prefer a physical book, and I still do. But I think now I've started using more mediums other than just pencils. I am enjoying PDFs more. I do still prefer to have that physical book on my shelf that I can look at. And I know I can bind PDF books and all that sort of stuff, and or put them in a folder and have them on my shelf. But there's just that little joy I get from an actual physical book. But this one will be a PDF book. It's a beautiful book. Its release date, I think, is Valentine's Day, February 14th, I think. When it is released, I will pop my finished picture up on Instagram for you guys to see. And I'll also include it in my February's completed pages video instead. So I will show you the book when it's released. And if you guys want to colour along from it, let me know. And what page, and we can do that as well. So that was a bit of an update, and I don't know how long I've been talking for, so let's get into this video. Okay, let me move this pile out of the way, and we'll start off looking at some whips. So my first whip that I'm currently working on, is that in frame, guys? Yeah. Okay, so Little Secrets from My Fairy House by Clara Markova. Now, I haven't done a review of this book. I have had it since December, before Christmas. I think I got it. And it is a lovely book. Clara is one of my favourite artists. But when I first got the book, I ripped it open. I was so excited. But I wasn't really wowed by the images. And they are beautiful images. But I think it was like, it felt like much of the same from the last book. Like there wasn't anything that felt really different to me. So I just wasn't in the mood to do a review, but I definitely will be colouring it because it is beautiful images. And I have started one. Now, with this book, I have noticed that the paper is a little bit smoother to touch than in her other books. And I normally use polychromos. Polychromos are my favourite in her books. I have done Prismacolors as well, but I prefer a harder pencil. And what I wanted to do with this page, and I mentioned, actually, I shouldn't I say it all in the video. Let me show you the picture. That's what we're here for, isn't it? The pictures. So this is the whip so far, and I'm using Castle Art pencils. So I do tell you at the beginning of the video, I went through a whole spiel. It took me hours to pick a set of pencils that I wanted to use on this page, and I settled with Castle Arts, mainly because I'm trying to recreate, not exactly, but I liked the colour scheme of the house, so I was trying to use some similar colours, and they had the best colour range basically. But this will be finished and completed in our February video, if we have a February, providing you guys like this video. So that is our current colour along that I'm working on. Now my next whip, now this one is from Hannah Carlson's Seasons, and it is a long-term whip that I've had for a while. And so the other one I've got, so I've only got 2 whips at the moment. The other one I have is the pull out from the back of World of Flowers. Now I've got all my colour combos. Yeah, so I'm using Prismacolors. What I had to do, so I'll put a photo of what it originally looked like, because I have altered my original whip to get it to look like this. So I started this maybe, I think it would have been maybe 2 years ago, I think. And I wasn't too happy with the picture the way it was. It was these leaves actually. So I'll find a picture of it and I'll stick it up here so you can see what I'm talking about. But I decided to go back to it because I don't like leaving anything unfinished. And the leaves just looked a little bit off for me. They just weren't, I just wasn't happy with the colour. There was a lot of chartreuse happening, so they were quite bright green. And the combination was lovely, and I have used that same combo on leaves before. I think I used them in Worlds Within Worlds on the Ant double page. It is a pretty combination, but it just didn't fit the page the way I wanted it to look. So I could picture the page completed in my head, and it just wasn't gelling with what I was picturing. So what I did was erased as much as I could of the leaves, and then went in with the same colour combination that I was using for these leaves over here. The strawberries I had done a couple of years ago, and I do quite like the colours. It's probably, I think I could probably do them a little bit better this time. I'll use the same colour combinations, I think, but you know, I've got these big patches of pale sage that I probably could have blended in a little bit better. But I've got a lot more strawberries to work on over here as well. And I did her skin tone too, and her eyes. Now I was originally doing her skin all the way to the bottom, so I have got like a layer of, I think it's light peach going all the way down here. But when I started, after I did the first layer of the light peach, I thought, geez, that's very low down. It's a very low cut outfit she's wearing here. And I changed my mind and decided that I'd make this part of the dress instead, because it just didn't look right as being all skin. So there is a light layer of light peach here, but it's so light you can barely see it, and I will be using sort of reds, oranges and yellows on this page, I think, so it'll end up blending in the long run. But I am glad I decided to stop there with her skin. But I'm happy with how she's turning now. So these are the new combo for the leaves that I'm using, and what I went over these leaves with. Yeah, so this one is probably going to take me some time to finish, because I'm just doing a little bit at a time when I have a little time to colour. So you'll probably be seeing this one for a while, I imagine, before I have it finished. Okay. Now, the first completed page I'm going to share with you guys is from Lulu Mayo's Emily Sea Creatures. Now, I am technically cheating here, as I actually finished this on December 29, but I was away on holidays when I did it, so I'm going to include it anyway. So, this is the page that I decided to colour, and for this one I used, I think actually I haven't written this down, but I'm pretty sure I based this with some Tombow markers. I'm 99.9% sure I based this picture with Tombow markers, but I haven't written it down. I'm sure I did. I remember doing that. So the sun, the whole sunset and the whale were based with markers. Now I did go over the top with Prismacolor pencils. The fish were markers too. Why did I not write this down? The fish were markers too. And were they Tombows? Yeah. And I've just done a little bit of shading on top with my Prismacolor pencils. The presents, I've got some Jelly Roll Metallics, and I don't know if this is showing up on camera because I can't see my camera. Let me just stand up. So I used Jelly Roll Metallics on the presents. I've used my CSY paints on the waves there. And of course we've got the little white dots, my Signo white gel pen. So the CSY Art paints, 1 second. These are the little CSY Art Gallery mini tin box handmade watercolor metallic paints. So I don't know what set I've picked up here. I've got a few. So not the set that I used, but these are the little sets here from Amazon. That's what I used for the paint. Okay, next. So this is Rita Berman's postcard book for Mein Reis durch Asien. And I coloured, where is it? This little page here. So what did I use here? Tombow markers for basing. I wrote it down this time. Prismacolor pencils, and so that's over the top of the basing. CSY paints. Now that I used on the little sea foam here. Jelly Roll Metallic Silver, so that's used on the little windows here of the boat. Pen Touch Gold, that's on the middle of the Sakura flowers. I've used the CSY paints on the moon as well, and then a Signo white gel pen for all the little added accents. So I've gone for a greeny blue water on this page as well. I did the same thing in Lulu Mayo too. I must have been really feeling, where is it now? Yeah, bluey green. I must have been really feeling those colours at the moment. I do find a bluey green is a bit softer to the eye. If I'd used a brighter blue in the Lulu page, it would have made the waves stand out and be more of a focal point, which is not what I wanted. Speaking of choosing colours, I will be doing a video later this month, in the next week or so, on the topic of colour choices and how I select my colours. So now my kids are finally back to school today, actually. They both went back today. So I can chat away in peace without interruptions. So that is Rita Berman's postcard book for her My Journey Through Asia. Next I've got De Welt unter der Lupe Zawasa by Rita Berman. Now this book was very kindly gifted to me by Rita last year. After watching my review of her recent My Journey Through Asia book, Rita very generously sent me copies of books that I was missing in my collection, with this one being one of them. And I had so much fun colouring this double page. It was nice and relaxing after a long day at the beach and supervising a bunch of teenagers playing a game of Monopoly. Now, although I do use workable matte fixative on all my pages, I did put some wax paper here just between the sheets, just in case the glitter started to rub off. So let me tell you what I used first. The background is Distress ink, and I used my cloud stencil. So I do get a lot of questions about the cloud stencil, and that is linked in my Amazon storefront, which is down below in the description box. I also do have a video on how to use your Distress inks in your colouring books, and I show you how to do this cloud background to get it a nice smooth gradient of colours, and I will try and link that up above if I can link. I don't know how many videos I'm allowed to link. If there's a limit, I will find out, and if I can, I'll link it up above. Prismacolor pencils, so that's on the purple fish and this blue colour for the waves. I will do a video as well, probably not for another month, I think, possibly, on how to colour water. It'll be one of the spotlight series, but I'll do a spotlight series on water like we did with the flowers and the leaves. So I'll show you like a water combination for each of the different pencil sets that I own. Yeah, you know I love colour in water, so that one will be fun. I will just show like a straight combination like this, and not like all the different layering and stuff like that. So it'll be nice and easy one for beginners there. What else did I use? I used Jelly Roll Stardust in the blue and silver, and I think that might be the Stardust in the purple as well, or maybe it's a metallic Jelly Roll. Let me lift it up and see if you can see all the sparkle. These Jelly Rolls, I love the silver Stardust. I don't know if you can see that well. Oh, hang on, maybe there. Oh, you know what? I have this torch. So I'm going off on another tangent here. What are we up to? Number 125, 1001. The other day we had a wild dog, the other night. And we had a wild dog outside, and my husband wasn't here. Of course, this always happens when my husband's away. So I was outside chasing this wild dog off so it didn't come near my animals or my puppies. And I was chasing it in the dark. So my husband said, I'm going to go get you a better torch. And he came home with this thing here, which you can clip on yourself and run. So you don't need to hold it. Let me see if that helps to show. Oh, look, it's a rainbow. I'm easily distracted. Here's my rainbow. Actually, that would have looked really pretty. I should have put a rainbow across the page. Is it showing? Anyway, you get the idea. So I'm just really impressed by these silver Stardust pens. It is honestly the best glitteriest silver. Let me put the paper back in before I forget and end up with glitter everywhere. I don't know if they do, if the glitter will rub off. I just thought, just in case, I'll pop it in there to keep it safe. These bookmarks I'm using as well are from Ruby Charms Colours, which I'll link down below in the description. So I printed them on quite a firm cardstock, but they are supposed to be folded over, so they're double-sided. But I needed quite a few, so I left them as single-sided. But I mean, I can reprint them at any time, can't I? And do them properly if I need to in the future. Now, where am I? Okay, so next page is, almost fell off my chair, Reptiloids 2. So I've actually had this book for quite a while now. I saw a flip through of it. I can't remember whose channel I saw it on. I saw a flip through on someone's channel, and I thought the images were super cute. And they look like they'd be really quick to colour as well. So I bought the book. I didn't do a review or a flip through because there's so many out there. And I've just been waiting for the time and the chance to colour it. And now I do have that little bit of extra time. And you know what? I coloured this so quickly. I think it was done in maybe 15 minutes. It was the quickest page I've ever coloured. But I really enjoyed it. It's just so fun to do fun little pages. Something quick and easy, like a Lulu Mayo page where you can just throw anything at it and just have fun. Nothing realistic about it. Just, you know, if you want to colour a tree purple, colour a tree purple. But I mean, you can do that in any book, but some of my books I colour in a more serious way, and others are just throw everything at it and have some fun. And this is one of those have some fun books. So what did I use? Keep that flat. What did I use here? So I based the sky and our little reptiloid here with the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blends, and I based the rest of the page with Tombow Jewel Brush markers. And I didn't write this down as well. I did go over the top and shade with Prismacolor pencils. I also used Wink of Stella on the little bee's wings there. Just a clear Wink of Stella. And there as well. Hopefully you're catching that in the light. And then my white Signo gel pen just for some little highlighted details as well. So that was a nice, fun one to colour. It's actually quite satisfying to complete something so quick. as Joanna Basford would say, small victories. So it's nice to feel like you've accomplished something in such a short period of time. And yeah, so I'll definitely be colouring more in this book. I need to go back now and get the first one, I think. Actually, no, I've got enough books, Karen. You don't need to buy more. Colour what you got. Colour what you got. Although I do have quite a few new books on the way, so the dilemmas. First world problems, eh? All right, now where are we? Layla Dooley is next. Why do I have a random bookmark? Where did this come from? Am I missing something? I don't think I am. Okay, so this one is Layla Dooley, The Flower Year. Now, I just coloured a small image from this book, which is the English oak, and I just did the little page here. This one was actually just, the book was next to me and I was on a phone call. I was on a 2-hour conference call with work. And sometimes when I'm doing something with my hands, I can't sit still and do nothing. I need to be doing 2 or 3 things at once. So when I'm on the phone, it actually helps me to concentrate more if I'm doing something else at the same time. Otherwise, my mind will drift into a million different tangents. And, you know, I'm thinking about what's for dinner, what sporting events I got to take the kids to, what's my cattle doing out the window. My brain goes into a million different directions. So I mindlessly was colouring this while on a 2-hour conference call with my boss, one of my clients, and I coloured it with Prismacolors. I should have written down some combinations so I could use them again on this page, but I didn't write anything down. I was just picking up a pencil while I was listening and concentrating to what he was saying. So just a small little one out of this book. And I really love colouring autumnal pages, which is why I coloured this one. Even though we're in summer here, it is quite cool. Actually, I say that, I'm really hot sitting here today. It's quite warm, but Friday it's going to be 11 degrees here and it's summer in Australia. So go figure. We had a bushfire that I was watching out my window last weekend. It got to about 37 here. And even though we had all those floods and all that rain last year, the grass is so brown and crispy. And I was watching outside my upstairs bathroom window because I could see the smoke from the fire in the distance. And the poor fireys, they were working on that until 2, 3 in the morning trying to get that under control. I think somebody had been like slashing their grass with the tractor, but in 37-degree heat. I think that's what happened. I could be wrong. But yeah, so it's going to be 11 degrees and yeah, it's from one extreme to the other at the moment. Okay, next on my list is a page from Millie Marotta's Secrets of the Sea. This book was given to me by my brother. Actually, Layla Dooley's The Flower Year was also gifted to me. Any of the others? I think that was it. Sorry, I should have said that when I was showing you the book. Now, this one is actually quite similar to the Rita Berman page that I completed. Like I said, I'm having a summery, beachy theme this month. Now, can you see that? Is it all in screen? Almost. So, now, I was going to add a background to this one. I've got things stuck everywhere. I was going to add a background to the page. I was thinking of adding in some waves with some distress ink, and I have a wave stencil, which you'll have seen in my Worlds Within Worlds. I used it on one of the, I think it was on the publisher pages at the front of the book. Or even just doing like just a simple blue pastel background, even adding in some little water bubbles. But I decided to leave it how it is because I think it just sort of pops. The blue and the yellow against each other is a great contradiction of colour, so it just pops out on the page, and I didn't want to not ruin it, but I didn't want to add anything extra when I was happy with the way it is now. So I may change my mind and add one in later, but I'm quite happy with the way it is. Now, I actually used Black Widow pencils on this page. Now, the reason for that, after I did my last review for Island Escape, I did a colour along using Prismacolor pencils. Now, I did get a few comments from people saying they had troubles using Prismas on Millie's paper, that the paper was a bit too smooth. Now, I agree that the paper is less toothy than what I'm normally used to. It's quite smooth. So I decided to try some pencils, some different ones, to see how they perform. Now I have a little motto in my head, which is the smoother the paper, the harder the pencil. The toothier the paper, the softer the pencil. So that's just my own personal saying that I use for myself. That works for me. It seems to work well. You may not agree with that, but that's okay, as art is subjective and it means something different to all of us. So the saying just means that if the paper is really smooth, then you're going to get the best results from a pencil with a harder core, and you're better off leaning towards oil-based pencils or a very hard wax pencil. So if you are a beginner, try that first. So if it's a really smooth paper to touch, try a harder pencil. And if that doesn't work, you can try some other ones. But as a rule, I go with the smoother the paper, the harder the pencil. Now I use Black Widows because for me they are a harder wax-based pencil compared to my beloved Prismacolors, of course. Now the opposite goes for the toothier paper. So wax-based pencils will smoosh themselves very well into the tooth nicely and give you a really nice, smooth, burnished blend at the end. So bear in mind, like I said, this is all just my own opinion. Anything I say on this channel is purely just my opinion. I am in no way an expert. I am not an expert on anything except my day job. In case any clients see this, I am an expert in that. I have got you. Trust me. Don't stress. So my Black Widows in this book blended so effortlessly. If you're having any issues with this paper, if you think it's too smooth for your prisoners, give the Black Widows a go. Or try a firm oil-based pencil. The Black Widows actually performed so much better for me in Millie's book than they did in Kirby's. So, oh, and what else did I use here? So we use Black Widows pencils. I also use Jelly Roll Stardust in blue, Jelly Roll Glaze Clear on the little eyeballs, and Jelly Roll Moonlight Blue, which is on these little things coming off. So let me lift it up, because when you look at it straight on, it doesn't look as great as when you can see the shine. So I'll stand up and see if I can get it to show you the shine. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that sparkle. Let me break out my torch. Oh, see, look at that. So sparkly. So, now speaking of Kirby, we'll look at Kirby books next. Let me just put this one away. Put the paper back in. Again, I've only got that on there because of the Stardust, just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Okay. Now, next is my beloved Mythic World by Kirby Roseanne's. Now, if you are subscribed, you might have seen my post in the community tab. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Yeah, if you see my post in the community tab on Alien Worlds, which is due for release very, very soon, there are some sneak peeks there and it looks amazing. I never thought a colouring book on aliens would ever be on my to-do list, but of course with Kirby Magic, the pages are amazing, and I've already picked 2 that I can't wait to colour. So on that note, back to Mythic World, I've only managed to colour 2 pages this month. So for anyone who isn't aware, this is one of the 2 books I'm doing a full book colour along in. So that just means every single page in this book will have a tutorial, a colour along will be filmed and up on the channel. Now, I mentioned earlier, I have done this before with Worlds Within Worlds, which took me 2 years to complete, the completed book. If you go to my playlist and find Kirby's Worlds Within Worlds, it'll be in there, the completed book, as well as every single tutorial for that book too. And you may have also seen on Instagram that I did do a flip through of the completed pages so far in Mythic World. As we're about halfway, which, I mean, we're almost up to a year since it was released, so I guess I'm looking at maybe 2 years to complete Mythic World as well. So this is the first double page coloured. Actually, I think this was my first page. Was it my first page colour this year? was my first colour along I think I've done this year. So this was basically all Prismacolor pencils, and again, am I in frame? I sure am. So yeah, it was entirely Prismacolor pencils, background as well. Now I've used a lot of my white Signo gel pen on all the waves, so I like adding it to make the waves look a bit frothy. And have I used it anywhere else? No. So it's all over my water. And I've also used Jelly Roll Stardust in silver. And where did I use? Oh, down here. Okay. If you can see in the little whirlpool there, those little, are they teeth? Are they claws? The little things down there. So that is my Jelly Roll Stardust in silver. It's so glittery. Yeah, so the next page, this is the second page I coloured. Let me just chuck this back in for now. This is the next page I coloured in Mythic World. So this one I coloured with Black Widow pencils. Now, as I said, it was a lot easier to get a smoother blend in Millie Marotta's book with her smoother paper. They worked a lot better for me in there. I did get quite a good smooth blend here, but it was a lot harder work, and I did have a sore hand at the end. But I think it turned out really nicely. Now, I've also used the Sakura Pen Touch Gold, and I've used that on his little earrings and also around his little beard, this little clip around his beard. And we have Jelly Roll Glaze in Clear on his eyeballs. Now, I'll lift that up. I don't know if it's going to show on camera. They just give the eyeballs that little bit of shine. Oh, hang on, I think I caught it. There. And as well, I also used, while I'm standing, the Deco Art Pearls. It's like a pearlescent paint on top of the skulls. See if you can see the shine. Let me just grab it out of my drawer. Hang on, my light is in my way. And this is what I used to get that pearl-like finish on top of the skulls. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but it looks very pearlescent from where I'm sitting. I can't get that back in my drawer. That's for later. And of course, my Signo white gel pen to add in all the little details. So the bubbles, the eyes, and then a little bit of shine on the skull as well. And that's all we managed in Kirby. What is that little, what do I got there? Oh, I must be marking this page as the next colour along maybe. Yeah, so we are now about halfway through this book. Still so, like, it feels full when I look at it, but when you say I'm only halfway, there's just so much left to do. And we've got Alien Worlds coming out, like I mentioned, so we're going to be busy. We are going to be busy, but with Kirby stepping back from making colouring books, he's going on a little hiatus. We will have some time to catch up before he hopefully releases a new book. So Alien Worlds is the last in his Worlds series, and we will be doing some colour-alongs in there. I'm not committing to any more full book colour-alongs at the moment because once we finish Mythic World, I want to go through and just take some time to show some love to Kirby's other books as well. Fragile World is being sorely neglected, so I'd like to colour some more in that. Mythomorphia, of course, one of my favourite books. Geomorphia, I have coloured quite a lot in it, so I think that one's close to completion. I will do some more in that one as well. So once this book is complete, we'll just mix and match and share the love around depending on what book we feel like colouring in at that time. Maybe I'll do some polls and you guys can choose the books and the pages. But we'll get through A Mythic World first. Now, on to my other full book colour along, which is Joanna Basford. So we have Joanna Basford, Rooms of Wonder, which is her most recent book. You will also find a playlist on the channel with all the videos so far I have finished in this book as well, as this is a full book colour along. Now, I've done 2 pages in this book this month too. Funny thing, I noticed when I was writing down in my journal what pages I completed, in Rooms of Wonder, we actually completed pages 43 and page 70. And in Mythic World, I completed pages 44 and 70. So something subconsciously happening there. I just thought it was an interesting coincidence. So this is the first one we completed here, the dressing room page. Now, this one is a 3-part colour along up on the channel. And the first part of the colour along is purely based just on explaining how I used washi tape to add to the page. So the video is part 1. The washi tape, I do have a linked in my Amazon storefront, which I mentioned earlier is in the video description down below. It is a set of florals with that sort of metallic through it. It's a really pretty set. It was fiddly to do on the wallpaper on this page, as there are lots of little cutouts that I had to do, but I think the end result was worth it. Now you can use it in a realistic type of way, I guess, as I did with this page, or you can have fun with it with the washi tape. So I'm dying to break out my washi tape in Lulu Mayo books and use one of the patterns maybe to colour some tree leaves or grass or even a house, maybe even some clouds as well. You can really go wild with it. It doesn't have to be realistic. If you want to put like a gingham print on a cloud, go for it. I think Lulu Mayo's books are the perfect books to do that in as well. Now, my colour choices with this page. So I did have a few people comment that they didn't realise that these flower colours would actually go together or go well together. And I will go into colour selection more in the video I'm going to be doing later the month. But for this picture, I sort of went with a split complementary palette, which is one of the harmonious colour schemes under colour theory that you can use. So we have blue, we have a red orange and a yellow orange. The green for me on this page is a neutral. So not a neutral colour, but a grounding colour, not considered to be part of my palette. I'll explain what that means in the colour selection video, but it's basically if you had like a scenic page, you got grass, you got sky. To me, they're neutrals, they don't count. And then the rest of the elements is your colour palette. So the blue and the green, the grass and the sky are your grounding colours. But yeah, like I said, I'll explain that more in my colour selection video. What else did I use? So we've got Pen Touch Gold and Silver. The silver I can see on the key and around the top of the stool. And of course the gold is on the border. Now that Pen Touch pen is my favourite gold. There we go, you can see the shine. They can be a little bit temperamental, the Pen Touch pens, especially the extra fine, which is the 0.7mm nib. So I think I used the 1.0mm nib for this one. And the 0.7, have I got it here? Yes, that's a 1.0mm nib that I used. Haven't had any issues with that one at all, and I've had a couple of those pens. This one is the 0.7mm, the extra fine. Now with this one, I did have, oh, I can't even open it. Oh, I did have that tiny little nib fall out while I was using it one day, which is why it looks so messy. I pushed the nib back in. And it is quite full still, but it doesn't release colour as well as it did prior to the nib falling out. So what I'm now doing is using my Caran d'Ache palette, and I just sort of like press down until some ink comes out, or paint comes out onto the palette, and then I pick it up with the nib and paint it on. I didn't use this one on this page, but when I do use the 0.7. That's what I've been doing. I do have another one on the way from Amazon, so I'll replace it, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. But I did see on the reviews that it has happened to a few other people. So it might be very common with the 0.7mm nib. I'm not quite sure. But like I said, the 1.0mm nib I've never had any issues with. So Wink of Stella Clear. Where did I use Wink of Stella? Oh, okay. That must be on the little necklace there. Yeah, it's on the necklace there. And I've got Signo White Gel Pen, which is around all my flowers. And Staedtler Tri Plus Fine Liner. So that I used on the edges of the dresser. And did I mention it was Prismacolor pencils? So all the pencil work was coloured with Prismacolors. And that was that page. Now my second page here. This one took forever to do. There's lots. It doesn't actually look like it would take that long. And there are some really detailed pages, like the ones at the front, the Lost Property Office, or it's a Lost Property Office, that one there. And so I thought this one was like a less busy version of that, and it is a less busy version of that, but there's still lots of details on the page. So it did take quite a while. And I also went back and counted. I think I used about 53 different Prismacolor pencils in the making of this page, which is a lot. It's actually, I have used more. But 53 is a lot. So it did take a while, and it took a long time to edit. I think it's a 2-part color along on the channel. So what I used was the Distress watercolor pencils, the Tim Holtz Distress watercolor pencil in Speckled Egg, which is from the first set of pencils. I used that in the background. So it's a really sort of pale greenish grey tone. And the reason I use that is I wanted a really soft background. Now the paper is that sort of off-white colour, so I didn't want to add too much in there. I just wanted something soft to add to that creamy colour. So I used the Speckled Egg for that. Prismacolor pencils for all the pencil work. I have used Wink of Stella somewhere. Wink of Stella is on the sort of the book labels and the labels of the boxes. So the centre there is a clear Wink of Stella. I've got Signo White on my jars around my flowers. Jelly Roll Metallic Silver, Jelly Roll Stardust Silver. So the Stardust I've used on my string of lights, so you can see how glittery, hopefully you can see how glittery that is. And then the Metallic Silver is on these little push pins down here. And I've also used Pen Touch Gold. So there is some Pen Touch Gold on the book spines, around the label on the front of the boxes, and here on the vase. I've got them here in the picture at the top, and on some of these little images down here in these push pins as well. So that is what we completed in Joanna Basford's Rooms of Wonder. So only 2 pages. So on a normal month, I would have only coloured this. Oh, I am missing one. I knew I was missing one. So on a normal month, I probably would have only had the 2 Rooms of Wonder and the 2 Mythic World pages done, which is my 4 or 5. But I do have a 5th that I completely forgot about, which is my Mythographic Magical Earth. 1 second while I go find it. Okay, so I have grabbed my Mythographic Magical Earth. How did I forget this page? I actually really enjoyed colouring this page. I don't know how I forgot it. Now this actually means that I coloured 12 pages this month. 12. Who even am I? 12 pages. Is that my page marked there? That's not, is it? Oh, that's one page I marked that I was thinking of doing as a colour along instead. So many beautiful pages in this book. This is another one I got months and months ago. Oh, look at that little sloth. It's so cute. I love sloths. I got this book months ago and I just didn't have time to do a review or flip through. I think I shared Joseph's actual flip through, his own flip through on the YouTube channel. in the community tab because I just didn't have time to do one myself or a review, but I absolutely adore this book. And I love that there's no hidden objects. The pictures are just beautiful. I love Joseph's work. This is gorgeous. I really like to colour that one too. So you might be seeing a lot more from this book. Okay, this is the page I coloured here. Now, for the background, I used Neo Colour 2s to create this sunset. When I was colouring it, I had no idea what it was going to turn out like. It was just, so like I said earlier, now I have extra time, I can do my experiments to bring you new techniques. This one I was just like, oh, I'll just do it on camera, and if it works, it works. And I did add some really dark colours at the top, which you see me go over, and I'm glad I added the dark colour and then went over it because it does have a nice effect. So with Neo Colour 2s for the background and Prismacolors for everything else. I do have, of course, my trusty white Signo gel pen that is on basically every single picture I do. We also have this sort of red Jelly Roll Stardust, which is just on the ribbon of her dress and on her sleeve there a little bit, if that's catching the light enough. And I also have, this was another Jelly Roll pen. I think it was a Jelly Roll Glaze. Yes, I can feel that's a glaze in yellow that I've used on the flowers. So it's just adds that little bit of touch. It's not that noticeable. It's just that little bit of extra. I was going to use the white, but I didn't want to add any more white. Signo. I didn't want to add any more white Signo to the page. But I really love the way it turned out, and I'm really happy with the colour choices I used on this page as well. Okay, so that is now definitely, I'm going to put that, you know what? That bookmark that I found earlier that had nothing, that had no book, I reckon it came from this one. So I'm sure now I have shown you all my books. I hope you enjoyed this video. So as my first completed pages video, I know I don't talk to you guys that often, and after this video you may not want me talking to you again. I understand I ramble, I talk really fast, and I go off on a million tangents. If you do like this video though and you want to see more completed pages videos, let me know down below. I will try to keep on track and not tangent off and ramble like I'm doing right now. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe. While I'm here, can I just say a big thank you? We did hit 15,000 subscribers on this channel over the weekend, and I am still in shock. I still cannot believe anybody is interested in listening to me speak or watching me colour. So to have 15,000 subscribers is awesome, and I'm very thankful to each and every one of you for all of your support. Yeah, so I will have a 15,000 subscriber giveaway coming as well. I'm not sure when. I do have a few things that I ordered for it that I'm waiting to arrive, so it may not be for another month or so before I get to do that, because I was going to do like an Amazon gift card giveaway, but I didn't want anyone to enter the giveaway that wasn't here for the right reason, so no one outside of the adult colouring community, because this is a thank you to my subscribers, so I want it to be something that I could give to you guys specifically. So I'm going to do a physical giveaway open worldwide, but more information will come on that later down the track, so maybe in a month or so, possibly. By the time everything arrives, everything takes so long to arrive lately, especially to Australia. But yeah, by the time I get everything, I will do that giveaway, so keep an eye out for that. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you. Upcoming videos will be, of course, I've mentioned a few times now, the colour selection, how I choose my colours video. I may do a untouched colouring book video because I do have those books there that I want to start working on. I'd like to have one page coloured in all of my books. I'm not a collector of books, although I do have full set syndrome for a couple of artists. Not many, but a couple of artists, but I buy them all with the intention that I'm going to colour in them. not to just collect them. So I'm a bit behind. There are some sitting there that I would like to, so my aim is to colour in them. No pressure though, whatever happens, happens. It's all about having fun around here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I will speak to you all again very soon. Bye for now.